All right, we are back with Peter Nelson from Nelson Nursery and Water Gardens and Skip Richter, host of Garden Line, and they're here with us answering your questions. You can call us at 713-533-5230, just like Marie did. Good morning, Marie.
How are you? Good morning.
I'm doing well. What's your question?
Yes, I have palm trees like 10 feet tall, and the one of the trees have died and it's fallen.
Ooh.
And so I have another one that is attacked that tree. I don't know what's causing it.
What does it look like? What are
the branches are falling off.
Ooh, the branches are falling.
And it's look like it's going to die also.
Wonder if it does it still have a lot of green?
So what do I do?
Marie, does it still have a lot of green to it?
I don't know if something's eating it or what, insects or what.
He's asking, Peter's asking, is there still a lot of green on it, or is it all turning brown or black?
Yes, it's turning. I have several, and one has died, and another one, it seems to be turning brown, and the branches are falling off.
Okay.
That's a tough one to answer, with that amount of information. I would be happy to look at a picture of it. Some of my listeners on the show will send me pictures during the radio show, and we could take a look at it. But just guessing, it's pretty wide open.
And it could be normal, Marie. A lot of those palms, as they mature, the old growth that's on the outside will turn brown and fall over. And that's a lot of times you get out there and you trim it.
Yeah.
The key for her is, are you still getting the strong, bright green, almost like swords that start in the center and then they open up?
Yes.
If she still has bright green in the center, she's probably okay.
But you said the other one, like, it's just dead and gone, right?
Yes.
And then she's afraid something's catching because she has several of them.
Correct. So that's right.
So she could send you a picture where?
When you call into the show, just say, I want to send Skip a picture, and the producer will give an email to send it to.
Okay. All right. Candace has a question. Candace says, I'd like to do something pretty in the space between two large trees in my front yard. What would be easy to maintain but still really eye-catching? All right, so two trees there, so you're going to get some shading, and then you're also going to have some competition if you put it in the ground with those trees, right?
Yes, and I've always said, trees are kind of like the big bullies of the landscape because they're soaking up all the nutrients. But I think she could potentially almost connect the beds to where it's almost like a figure 8 shape, and then get some good soil in there. Spend the money on good soil. I really like to put the leaf mold compost in all the landscaping that we do.
Excellent.
I think it's good stuff.
Excellent.
And does she do like impatiens in there? And
you could do impatiens. You could do wishbone flower. Torenia would grow in the shade really well.
What about putting something in a pot where she can just bring stuff in and out all the time? A pretty pot between the trees.
When I first saw that picture, I'm thinking that just needs a hammock.
Yeah, it does.
That's my solution.
It does. That is a great idea for that. But that is an option you have when you put things in a pot. That's why if it dies, you just throw something else right on in there, or you can just go all year round, no matter what the weather's doing, right?
Yes.
All right, and you have like all those beautiful pots.
Yeah, and that stuff's very inexpensive. A couple bucks for some flowers. And swap them out a few times a year.
Yeah. All right, Heather, do raised beds really make gardening easier in Houston's heavy soil, or can I get the same results planting directly into the ground? Now, what's so crazy about this, and I know this from a friend of mine who installs pools, he goes, you will not believe how crazy our soil is. He goes, I can go 2 blocks over and the soil is completely different than it was 2 blocks over the other way. He goes, just in such a wide area, we have a lot of different ground types, and it's not all suited for sticking something directly in the ground.
That's true.
Yep.
That's
Did I sound
true.
like a gardener there?
Oh, yeah. You are a gardener at this point. You're a pro.
You can always improve the soil you have, but that's a lot of work, and it takes some equipment. But to drop a box on the ground and fill it full of the best soil on earth, a good mix, that's the easiest, fastest, most successful way to garden, really.
Yeah.
And then you're not crawling around on your hands and your knees to maintain it. It's at a comfortable height. So
and with that
I love
kind
raised beds.
of, that defined space, again, things can come in and out easily, right?
Yes.
All right. Trevor, my 3 children each want their own vegetable to grow. What are 3 fun, fast-growing crops they can start now or over the next few weeks? We all remember the science fair project that we did in school where we had to put the bean in the paper towel that was wet in the jar and watch it grow, right?
Well, one, I would do cucumbers pretty soon. You could start them as transplants and then move them out if you like. But that way, pick a bush type cucumber that sets early, look at the days to harvest and find something about 48 days to harvest. And then the kids also get to make pickles out of them. And that's a whole new fun thing that the kids could do with
And what's
that.
so nice about this is also, if you're talking about changing a child's idea about nutrition, when they have ownership, it's completely different. I remember my son, he grew radishes. And now I'm just going to tell you, I don't know anybody who loves a radish right out of the ground with dirt on it. But when he saw it pop up, he goes, Mommy, it's here. It's here. And so he bit into it. He goes, this is delicious. Taste it. I'm like, that is not delicious, but I'm glad you love it. But the reason why he did that, he had ownership of it.
Yes, that's true. And you could even take a little hardware cloth and, the little chicken or rabbit cage wire, put it on the ground, put a little compost over it, and plant your radishes right there. The roots will go down and the top will come up, and you just pull it all up and wash all the soil off, and you have this wall of radishes. And that's another fun thing. We got to get kids interested in gardening in different ways.
Yeah. Of course, now he's interested in the avocado tree, and so he planted an avocado seed when he was like 5, and he's like 22 now. He's like, oh, it'll come.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not. All right, more answers to your questions after the break.
He's still messing with that avocado.
He's still messing with that avocado.